Good morning, students. So, good morning. So, today in the last class, we had completed the second unit, which explains about the different machining process under the traditional and non-traditional, and what are the different operations, what is the equipment, what is the process parameters, so how the equipment is to be get run. So, each and every topic we had discussed in the last class, which comes under the unit 2. So we had also discussed about what are the different types of tolerances and surface finish is to be given for a certain parts which are made under a casting or any welding or any other process is to be get followed. So what are the different design recommendations for the machined parts, that is also get discussed. So in this class, from this class we will start the unit 3, which explains about the metal casting, So the in the unit 3, the topics they had given us: appraisal of various casting process, selection of casting process, general design considerations for the casting and casting tolerance, use of solidification, simulation in casting, design, and the product design rules for the sand casting. So these are the topics which are to be get covered under the metal casting. I think already you have learned the casting process, what are the different types of castings and what is the procedure to be get done, and what are the types of materials can be used under a casting was already get completed in your second year, I think so. So again we will refresh the topics. What is meant by metal casting, how it is to be get started, and how it is to be done the solidification. So after solidification, what is the process to be get followed, and after heat treatment, how it is to be get put on a machine. So what is the next process can be get done, so what are the design considerations are to be get taken, so somewhat explored. So it is to be get explained under the unit 3 from today onwards. Clear? So I will share my screen. So metal casting. So what is meant by metal casting? So what is meant by casting? Before we will start casting process, I think you already have some knowledge on the casting. So what is meant by casting process? Any students, you can unmute yourself and you can tell. What is meant by casting process?
మెటల్‌ని అదే మోల్టన్ మెటల్ వరకు హీట్ చేసి మెటల్‌ని రిక్వైర్డ్ షేప్ తెప్పిస్తారు మేడం.
Pattern making, madam.
What is the main things we are used in a casting?
ప్యాటర్న్స్ మేడం.
Patterns, Inka?
హ్యామర్స్.
Things can be used in a casting process.
Scope, drag.
Scope and drag boxes.
Scope and drag. Okay, next.
Sand, madam.
Huh?
Sand.
Sand. Okay, what type of sand?
It's a mixture of
గ్రీన్ శాండ్ మేడం.
Green
Sand.
sand. So what are the different parts are to be taken when the casting process is to get done? Different parts. Different.
డ్రాగ్, రన్నర్, రైజర్ మేడం.
Yeah, okay. So how much time it is going to be taken for manufacture for the casting of an aluminium or any hard material? Is it get complete within 1 day?
No, madam.
No, it can't get complete because in our college we will do only a normal casting. It is not we are pouring a certain type of a high material. We are not pouring in it. So we are just doing a sand casting and we are checking how it is going to happen. So if you want to take a different type of materials, it is going to happen in different number of weeks or different number of days. Clear. So what more we can learn from the casting? So what are the different types of castings are there as per your knowledge? Types of castings.
Sand casting, madam.
Next, only sand casting. By the name casting, we will explain first only the sand casting. After the sand casting, what are the different types of castings are there? So what are the different types of moldings can be get used?
పిట్ మౌల్డ్
Huh?
పిట్ మౌల్డ్ మేడం, అంటే లార్జ్ కాస్టింగ్స్ చేసేటప్పుడు కోపు డ్రాగ్ యూజ్ చేయలేం కదా మేడం.
Okay.
అలాంటప్పుడు పెద్దగా ఐ మీన్ గొయ్యలు తీసి అందులో పెడతారు, చేస్తారు మేడం లార్జ్ కాస్టింగ్స్ కి.
Okay.
దాని పిట్
What are the different types of patterns we can use?
Split
Patterns.
pattern, split pattern, madam.
Pattern. Next.
సింగిల్ పీస్ ప్యాటర్న్,
Single piece pattern. Next.
Double piece.
Double piece.
Fixed plate pattern.
So
Hilton
we
pattern.
are. So is it enough by using a cope and drag, or else any another certain piece, certain shell is to be taken in between?
చీక్ మేడం. అంటే
So
split piece
another
pattern.
shell is to be get taken, not except of a cope and drag. We can take another third piece also. So when big materials, big products have to be get manufactured, right? So what are the different materials? By what are the pattern is made up of? What type of materials the pattern can be?
Wood, madam.
Wood, copper, some plastics.
So the pattern which cannot be get melted when the molten metal is to be get poured. So that type of pattern is to be get selected because it must be very hard. So depends on the molten metal which you are pouring. So it is to be get taken. So what is the use of a sprue and what is the use of a riser?
స్ప్రూ అనేది మెటల్ పోర్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం మేడం. రైజర్ అనేది మన వెదర్ మెటల్,
Okay.
whereas riser is used to checking whether the whole cavity is filled or not, or to and for other purpose, escaping of gases.
Okay. So what is the use of a vent holes? Students, any of the student you can tell, not only the particular student, any of the students you can tell. What is meant by a vent? What is the use of a vent hole?
To release gases, madam.
So the moisture content can be get released with the help of a vent holes. Yes or not? So what is the next part? What is the advantage of the casting?
Complex shapes can be.
Yeah, the first point is complex shapes can be get done. So I want to ask a question. So after completion of an aluminum casting, so if you had got a complex shape after completion of the total solidification and heat treatment, whether it is to be get finished by using any lathe machine or any other thing, or else it can be get directly used under manufacture process.
No, madam. We will finishing process, madam.
The finishing process is to be get done.
Excess
And-
material.
So because the surfaces cannot be have that much smooth. So to get a certain dimensions or any other thing, we have to do again certain finishing process, but not for all type of molten materials you had used in a casting, for only certain type of pieces. Because when you are going to seeing the pieces, we can understand, okay, this is not up to our mark. This is not having a certain type of surface finish. So we can do a certain super finishing operations when it is loading on a machine. So after that, it can be passed on to the manufacturing department. So clear. So these are the different topics which are to be discussed in the metal casting. Already you had learned in a second year. So we will have again a glance what is going to be happening in a metal casting. Clear. So the first one, I will share my screen. So metal casting process, the manufacturing in its broadest sense is the process of converting the raw materials into useful products. So in this casting, we are using a raw material of different types of materials, whether it is a tin, copper, zinc, or iron, or a steel, or aluminum, or magnesium, or any other thing. So whatever the material you want to get a certain shape, it is to be get transferred in the form of some pieces or some liquid or some any other thing. So when you take an injection molding, it is to be taken in the form of pieces. It is a plastic granules. But when you are taking in a casting process, it is to be get melted and it is to be get poured. So it includes, the first one is design the product. So the first one, design the product. The second one, selection of the raw materials. And the third one is the sequence of the process through which the product will be get manufactured. So the first one, what is the type of shape you want to get manufactured? So before starting the casting process, what we will do, we will made our certain pattern. So what is the shape of the pattern must be? So what is the material of the pattern to be get taken? So the material of the pattern always depends on what type of molten metal is to be get poured. So what type of material of the pattern, what is the selection of the raw material, and what is the sequence of the process. So the sequence of the process to get until the final shape. So what is meant by casting? So casting is a process of producing the metal parts by pouring the molten metal into the mold cavity of the required shape and allowing the metal to solidify. So we know the first one is we will take the cope and drag. Before going to take a cope and drag, we will prepare the green sand to get that it is not having some sticky nature. It must be very smooth. So we will take a green sand and it is to be placed in a cope and a drag. When you are going to be taking a pattern of a split piece pattern, half of the pattern will be placed in a cope and other half of the pattern will be placed in a drag. So when you are going to be taking multi-piece pattern, we will going to be use a three types of shells. One is a cope and a drag, the center part will be there. It is nothing of one of the type of mixer. So the solidified metal piece is called as a casting. The solidified metal piece is called a casting. So this solidified, the metal is to be get solidified and allowing the metal is to be get solidified. So which is known as a solidification process. It is known as solidification process. It takes some time. It is not up to the one extent. So what are the types of castings? So the casting explains under the two different methods. One is a conventional method, the other is unconventional methods. Conventional and unconventional. So in a conventional method, there are two types, the green sand mold and a dry sand mold. So in an unconventional method, CO2 molding, which explains as a strong mold, and permanent molding, which comes under metal mold, and shell molding, thin mold, investment casting, it is a precision, centrifugal casting, continuous casting. So these are the different types of casting methods, casting molds, which we are going to learn, which we had also learned in the second year. Investment casting, centrifugal casting, shell molding. So these are different types of castings. So the next one. So what are the types of materials? Raw materials can be used. What is the type of raw material can be get more melted and it is poured in the total cope and drag. So the common casting materials are the aluminium, magnesium, and the copper. The common casting materials are aluminium, magnesium, and the copper. So other materials like the tin, zinc, and lead alloys, iron, and steel. So we will mostly use only these three. The other materials can be also to be used. For these type of materials, casting is suitable. So the next one. So what is meant by sand casting? So sand casting is simply melting the metal and pouring into a performed cavity, which is known as a pattern. We had made with it some pattern and called mold, allowing the metal to solidify and then breaking up the mold to remove the casting. So after solidification, what we will do? We will break the total thing, not breaking the cope and a drag. We will break the total part. What you had poured sand or any other thing over the pattern, it is to be get break. After that, the mold is to be get removing. So in the sand casting, expandable molds are to be get used. In the sand casting, expandable molds. So for each casting operations, you have to form a new mold. For each casting operation, new mold is to be get taken. So when it is explains that most widely used casting process, the parts ranging in sizes from small to very large and the production quantities from 1 to millions, sand mold is used, and patterns and core. So these are the different types of patterns which are to be get used. So one is the so the patterns comes under the solid, split, match plate, cope and drag patterns. The cores comes under the achieve the internal surface of the pattern. So what is the core? Sand core which you are going to pouring on it. So after pouring the green sand, what you are going to be doing? You are ramming on the green sand so that some pressure is to be get applied on the green sand. It is to be get tightened. It is to be get tightened so that when you are pouring some molten metal in the cavity, the sand cannot be get enters into that one. So the molds the sand with a mixture of water and a bonding clay. What is the green sand having the properties like? So the typical mix of 90% of the sand, 3% of water and 7% of the clay. So to enhance the strength and the permeability. So the sand is having refractory for high temperature. So these are the things which are comes under the molds. So what is the type of size and shape of the sand must be? It must not be having a very large size. It is very small grain size. It is very, very small. You are already seen in your foundry lab. So small grain size, which gives a better surface finish. When you are going to a very small thing, it gives a pure surface finish. It gives a pure accuracy. See, when you are using, when you are preparing some products by using composite materials also, what we will do, will make the materials, whatever the materials we are going to be taken, those type of materials are manufactured under nanoparticles. So why the nanoparticles means it will be give a smooth surface finish, it will be give a good accuracy. So when it is not to be taken a nanoparticles, we are when you are going to be taking a certain medium particles, it cannot be get binded. It cannot be get binded. For that sake, what we will do is always when the materials have to be get selected, it is to be get grinded by using a ball milling machine, and it is to be get under a nanoparticles. Always we will take under a nanoparticles only. It is a best, it is a good advantage so that we can get a good accurate values also. Clear? So the large grain size to allow escape of gases during pouring. So small grain size, it gives a better surface finish. And when you are going to be taking a large grain size, it allows the escape of the gases during pouring. So the irregular grain shapes strengthen molds due to interlocking, but to reduce the permeability. So irregular grain shapes is to be get not entertained. Yeah. So the next one. So types of sand is to be get taken. So as per our knowledge, we know what is a green sand only. So what is a green sand? Green sand molds, mixture of a sand, clay and a water. Green means mold contains moisture at time of pouring. So green means it is not exists in the form of a very green shape. It is a dark part. So green sand molds, it consists of a mixture of a sand, clay and a water. So green means it is a mold contain the moisture at a time of pouring. So next, dry sand mold. Dry sand mold, it is organic. Dry sand mold, it is organic binders rather than a clay and mold is baked to improve the strength. So I think you will be having one experiment for a dry sand mold. In that dry sand mold, we will bake the sand and we will be having some strains also. What is a very small grains? What is a very large grains? What is a medium grains? We will be having a three jollies, and we will be just binding each and every part. So we are going to be collecting in each and every container. Okay, this container is having a very small grains, this container is having a very large grains, this container will be having a very medium grains. So that is one of the experiment will be there in the foundry. So there we will use the organic binders rather than a clay, and mold is baked to improve the strength. So the third one is skin dried mold. So drying mold cavity surface of a green sand. Mold to a depth of 10 to 25 mm using torches or heating. So here you are using a dry sand. This is a dried mold, skin dried mold. It is not up to the extent, we won't use this one in our as per our subject. We will see only about the green sand and a dry sand mold only. Okay, na? So the next one is, what are the steps in a sand casting? So as per our knowledge, the first thing is pattern preparation, how the pattern is to be get prepared. So it depends on the shape what the customer had given. So it depends on the production, the pattern is to be get made. So what is the material which is used to prepare a pattern, whether it is a wood or any other wax or any other thing. So what is the type of material is to be get used for prepare a pattern. So and when you are going to be prepared a pattern, what is the shape of your product to be get manufactured? If the pattern is of a two halves, it is to two halves, it is nothing but a split piece pattern. So we have to be placed in a center of the molds, whether it is in a cope and a drag. So where we are going to placing and whether it is in a correct size or not. So after that, what we will do, you will be taking green sand, and after the green sand is to be get poured beside the patterns. And after the green sand, you are going to putting some dry sand on over the green sand. It is not to be get having some much sticky. So dry sand will be get poured, and after that you are putting some gating systems. So one is a sprue and one is a riser, and some flow is to be get maintained. Some flow is to be get arranged between the sprue from towards the pattern. So the flow is nothing but when the molten metal is to be get poured when from the sprue, it can be get directly flows to the pattern. So for that sake, the flow is to be get made there also. And after that, when the molten metal was poured, next the riser. From the riser, it is used if it is having an excess molten metal, it can be get removed from a riser. And we are going to putting some vent holes. So vent holes is used to remove some gases which are going to be having inside the total casting process. So these are the things which are going to be done in a sand casting. So after you are going to pouring some molten metal, it is to be get solidified. It is to be get solidified. And we have to do is, one thing is, we have to ram the green sand in such a way there will be no loose content between each and every small grains. It must be very binded very strictly, very strongly, so that the molten metal cannot be get out from the shape. It will be in a correct shape. So after that, how it is to be get solidified, when you are going to be using some metals in a casting, it won't be get solidified within a 1 hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It takes nearly days to weeks also. So after the solidification, we have to be break. We have to break, and after that, cleaning, inspecting, and heat treatment is to be get done. Heat treatment is to be get done for each and every casting process, so that whatever the molten metal was sticked to that nature, we are going to be heating it. It can be get binded in a correct manner, so that it cannot be, it is to be get improve the metallurgical properties also. Clear? So these are, and after the heat treatment, what we will doing, you are putting on a machine, so that to remove some excess material, or to make some finishing process, whether it is a super finishing or finishing process, and it is to be get moved to the manufacture. So these are the steps which are to be followed in a sand casting. So here also the same thing they had given. The first one, the cavity in the sand mold is formed by packing sand around a pattern. So separating the mold into two halves. So the mold must also contain a gating system and a riser system. So for the internal cavity, a core must be included in a mold. So a new sand mold must be made for each part. For each part, you have to make a new mold. So don't think that in our college, what we will do is one pattern is to be used for different parts. But when it comes to the production, mass production or job production or batch production, it depends on the materials, what you are going to pouring. The patterns are to be made individually. So the next one, the pour molten metal into the sand mold, and next allow the metal to solidify, break up the mold to remove the casting, clean and inspect the casting. Heat treatment of casting is sometimes required to improve the metallurgical properties. So what I had told, the steps involved in a sand casting. So these are nothing but the steps involved in a sand casting. Clear? So the next one. So this is a flow chart, how it is to be given. So the sand molding, in a molding, the pattern making, core making, and gating systems, how it is to be. And the sand, from the molding, you are going to putting some sand in a mold, the melting of a metal in a furnace. So before you are going to putting the raw material in a total molding cavity, so how the metal is to be get turned into a molten metal, by using what type of furnace are to be get used to turn into a molten metal. So pouring into mold, which explains that a solidification. Next, casting. So after completion of solidification, casting, shake out, removal of risers and the gates. So gates are very important. So gates is nothing but you are allowing some molten metal inside the pattern, so that it can be just moved inside in a correct manner. Without having some gate system, how it can be get moved? So gates are important, and removal the risers and the gates. And next, heat treatment. Additional heat treatment is to be get taken. Cleaning and finishing, the pressure tightness, and the inspection. So inspection, so what are the different types of defects you will get? The blowholes, the cracks, the different types of shrinkages part, different types of holes can be, and it is not up to some extent. So this type of defects occurred only when the sand is not prepared in a correct manner, when the ramming is not done in a correct manner, and when the correct molten metal is not to be get poured, and a gating system is not arranged in a correct manner. So when this process is not to be followed in a correct way, you will get some type of defects. So when to decrease the defects, we have to follow this all process in a correct manner. Clear, students? So these are the steps in a sand casting. So the next one, so what is the advantages? So advantages is design flexibility. So design flexibility, it reduces the cost. So dimension accuracy, and is versatility in production. So you can make different types of designs, different types of things in a production. So disadvantages, lot of molten metal is wasted in riser and gating. Yes, lot of molten metal is wasted, because we are going to pouring the molten metal from the sprue, and we are going to be the riser is used to remove the excess molten metal. So when the molten metal is going to be getting from the riser, then we will get understand, okay, molten metal whatever you had poured is enough. So when the gating system is not in a correct manner, so what happens, the molten metal what you had poured, it is having some wastage of the part. So though the gating system is in a correct manner also, the gating will be stick on the molten metal. So there also some wastage of the molten metal was there. So when you are going to be take a casting process, we have to be answered for the riser and gating also, because this is our thing. Though it is a wastage, but what is the type of mold you are going to be getting? What is the type of product you are getting at the last? That is to be get seen. So next one is casting may require machining to remove rough surfaces. Casting may require machining to remove the rough surfaces. So in this one, when the customer is giving an order to us, we have to think that what type of patterns are there in our company, how many molds are there in our company, can we complete the total production in a certain time or not? Because if we will take aluminium, it can be takes a certain time of days to do the solidification. So how much days, whether we can deliver the product by the given date which they given by the customer or not. So after considering each and every part only, we have to be taken order. Not to take an order it is as in the easiest way. We have to think what is the design considerations to be get taken, what are the whether it is each and everything is available in our company or not. We have to see each and everything. Clear? So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Clear? So the next one, we will see what are the factors considering the sand casting. So how the selecting a casting process is to be get done. Selecting a casting process is to be get done. So this point explains that which type of casting process is to be just selected, and how it is to be get selected for different types of materials. So how much time, and what is the shape, size, what is the characteristics, and when we are going to be using a certain type of casting, the properties are to be get changing or it is having a certain properties. And casting cannot be done with a normal person. It must be have some experienced person only. So whether the experienced person is available in our company or not. So is the experienced person is sufficient for that casting or not. So this also we have to be seen clear. So a product's shape, size, and physical characteristics often limit the choice of the casting method to a single casting process, in which case the tank simply becomes one of the selecting a reliable foundry offering a fair price. So this explains that whether we can opt the casting or not, can we complete the casting for a price which they had given or not. Clear. So the next one, if there is a choice of casting methods, it may be worthwhile to consult a trusted foundry, since the foundryman's experience can be source of a cost-saving ideas. So I had already told you what is the person who is going to be implementing the casting, whether he had some experience or not. Because unexperienced person, we can't give the work. So it totally depends on the profit of your company. So if you are not given, if the work is to be given for a unexperienced person, what happens to your products? What is the wastage of your product? So what is going to be? So we in that manner we have to check what is the advantages and what is the disadvantages of that also. So in any event, it is advantageous to limit the selection of the casting method to a few choices early in the design process, so that the design and the casting method meet each other's requirement. We have to see each and every point. So what is the each and every point is the factors to consider when selecting a production metal casting process. So these are the factors which are to be considered. The first one is cost. Under the cost, the die casting process is usually one of the cheapest process. The die casting is one of the cheapest process. So per product options available in the casting industry. So it is important to also consider the cost of the tooling, because it usually requires a large number of parts for the die casting process to break even on the cost of the process. So here in the die casting process, we are preparing some die. We are going to be using some die, and we are going to be using some material, raw material, and we are preparing some product or a part. So in a die casting is a one of the very cheapest part. We die casting example is we can see in an outside also, when some festivals are going to be getting, we can see some dies are to be used there to prepare some type of molds. So that is nothing but a die casting, how it is to be done. So for each and every product, it is the cheapest process, and it is very cheapest part. It can be easily, the cost is not up to the point also. This is a very small thing. So what type of large number of parts for the die casting process to break? So in a die casting process, the large number of, the length of the part cannot be more and more. It is a very small pieces can be made by the die casting. So the next one, the product quantity. So when you are going to be accepting some tender from a customer, we have to be see how much quantity they want to get required, not a quality. They are saying what is the quantity, how much pieces they are going to be required, whether it is a 1 lakh or a 2 lakhs or a 10,000 or 50,000. So how many pieces they want. So if they want 50,000 pieces, what type of materials they are required, whether all the 50,000 pieces of the same material or the different types of materials. So how it can be made. So if we accept the tender, can we complete the total production in a certain given time? We have to be seen. So how many parts do you need and when do you need? And it is usually preferable to pay for each metal part due to the project budgets and a capital requirements. So we have to see what is the budget of your company also, whether we can accept or not. What is the capital? So when you are keeping this much amount on that one, so how much we are going to be getting? What is the profit? What is the profit for a certain total production? That is to be think. The next one is what is the surface finish of the part? So so the required surface finish of the part can also affect when the casting process you will use for your project. So when the customer is to be telling that I want a piece which is having a very smooth surface finish, very smooth surface finish. It must be having a 0.05, 0.05 mm. It can be the tolerance. So this type of surface finish is to be get accepted. I want that type of surface finish. So when that type of surface finish is to be get needed, how the process is to be get carried out, how much keen interest the process is to be take over, and how much struggle is to be get take over. Because in a casting process, we know that we can't get a perfect surface finish. So when you are not getting a perfect surface finish, what is the excess material is to be get poured. So if you want to pour a excess material, excess raw material, how it is to be get designed first. If you want a correct 50 diameter, we have to be get pour the material of 52 diameter. So what is the extra dimensions is to be get designed, how it is to be get designed. So what is the correct project details? So the required surface finish of the part can also affect when casting process you will use for your project. So what is the type of surface finish you can be given for your customer? So the next one is time and speed of the process. So I already told you, it is not a speed. It is you can't complete the total production in a certain number of weeks or a certain number of days. It takes a number of days. It depends on the raw material. What is the metal you are going to be selecting? So do you need the metal parts immediately? If it is to be given immediately, if they want immediately, we can't do the process. If they can give a time of 1 month or a 2 months or a 3 months, okay, we can accept, because these many parts can be get manufactured. For solidification, it takes these many weeks, so we can manufacture. So first question is, how many parts you need and when you need them? Is the material parts is immediate for you, and what is the cost of your product, and what is the surface finish of that one? So we have to be get consider the for each and everything, because blindly not to be get accept each and every tender. When you accept the tender, it must be in a position to give a correct fruitfulness to the customer. So do you need the metal parts immediately? Depending on the casting process, the availability of the parts will vary depending on the casting process. So die cast parts usually takes 8 to 12 weeks. So depend on the casting process also, whether it is an investing casting or a investment casting or a centrifugal casting or a shell molding or any other casting process. What depends on the casting, it can be take a number of time. So what is the type of casting you require? It is important that you plan and follow the schedule plan. You should always allocate enough time for each and every project. So when you had selected one project and it comes under the die casting, we can't accept the second project, because the already one project is in the middle. It is to be get completed. It is in the process. We can't accept the another project from another customer. So it must be, the plan is to be scheduled in a correct manner, so that there won't be any deflections in between a process. Clear? So what is the time and the speed of the process? And next one is the size and shape of the part. So what is the size? What type of size you want? What type of shape? So in a casting, we already know you can make a complex shapes, complex sizes. So what is the type of shape? So when the shape is to be very complicated, it takes some more time, because we have to be get a keen interest and we have to be get seen each and every point. If it is having a 0.25 mm corners, it is having some chamfers, it is having a very sharp molds, it is having a somewhat fillets or any other thing. So depends on the shape. We have to be put some keen interest on that one. Some time is to be get spent more and more. So for that way, we have to give in a more wages to the labor also, because the product what you had got, it is not certain easy part. It is having some kind of unusual shape. So what is the metal part which you want to make? What is the size of the part and how many pieces is to be get required? So it is also affects the casting process. So this all affects the casting process. So the next one, what is the strength of the part? So what is the strength of the part? So what type of material the part is? So each and every material what you are going to be taken, is the part is having a very lightweight or it is very more more strength. It is more weight, whether it is lightweight or it is having a very more weight. So what type of properties you want to get required? So what type of characteristics are there, and whether if it is a rubber, so how much elongation was there? So what is the toughness of your product? What is the hardness of your the thing? So when the certain molding was done, whether the certain properties are changing. So what type of molds can be prepared? What type of metals can we get prepared? So what is the thing? So we have to see that what is the strength of the part also. Metal parts are strong enough on their own, and the casting process can help improve and strengthen these. So strengthen of the part, we can also explain that if the certification takes for 8 weeks, we can't open the box within 6 weeks, because the strength can be get decreased. Though it is forming some shape, some size, but you are going to be removing in between of the week only. So what happens, whatever the properties to be get allowing to the part, it cannot be up to the extent, so that some of the defects can be get formed on that one. So we have to check each and every point. So why I'm telling each and every point is to be checked is so that we can be exist in the market at a certain point. If you're not giving a fruitful thing to the customer, what is the place of you in the market? What is the place of you? If one customer is getting to a company, what the customer will tell to another person's mouth advertisement is very harmful, very harmful when compared to a TV advertisement and or a radio advertisements or a online advertisements. Mouth advertisement is very, because it can easily reflect each and every person. So when the customer is to be getting to our company, we have to be each and every part is to be get considered. As per the consideration, you have to given a correct 100% product. Though it is not 100%, give at least 90% of the product, so that the customer can be get satisfied. So how to get satisfied? The customer is our God. So how to get satisfied? It is to be, these are the considerations to be get followed. Clear? So the thermal characteristic of the required part. So if you are going to be need aluminum and zinc metal parts, die casting process is perfect for it. As each casting process has certain preferred metal alloys that are best suited for this. So metal alloys have different thermal characteristics. So when the person wants the thermal characteristics also, so what type of metals can be get selected for what type of process? So here I had given an example that for a die casting process, this aluminum and zinc is to very perfect. So similarly, when you are going to be taking a centrifugal casting process, what type of metal parts can be very useful for you? So that is to be get considered. So it is has certain preferred metal alloys that are best suited for this. So what are the metal alloys? Have different thermal characteristics. So what are the different metal alloys are going to be considering? So what are the different thermal characteristics are there? Clear? So these are the factors considering for the casting process. Yes, students. So students, these are the factors considered for the things. So as per today class, so the metal casting, appraisal of the various casting process, the selection of casting process. So in the next class, we will see what is the general design considerations for the casting and what is the casting tolerance. So I had told just now, if the casting design was given, what is the excess design is to be get made. So what is the use of solidification? When the solidification was taking over, what are the different parts are to be get arranged? Solidification is going to get done. What is the first, what is the second, and what is the third stage? First stage, second stage, and third stage. So what are the different stages are going to be happened in the solidification, and what is the simulation in casting design? So what is the product design rules for the sand casting? So from this to this, we will explain in the next class. Okay.